one does not exist yet, at least not without probably an upgrade. You have to pay for that plugin.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It might be a good thing you guys can't see me because my dog is now on my table. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have John Paff, we have Brian. I see Christy. Are you there, Christy?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yahoo!
And John Walton. We see you too.
Thank you.
Shannon McCarthy saying there is no sound, but there is sound. Shannon, are you still not getting any sound?
Well, other people are clicking in that they have sound.
Yeah, but Shannon's she must have something not working there.
Your internet connection is unstable. Okay, well, I think we'll just go ahead and get started since we have a quorum. Unless, Jonathan, if you're there, I see you there. If you have any other ideas regarding the potential audio problem.
She may need to log off and then log back on again with audio. You have to select that in order to get on. So she may need to, anyone who does not have sound may have to disconnect from the Zoom and then re-sign back on and connect computer audio. So
Brian, would you mind typing that to her in the chat, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she can hear, well, she can hear me. You're right. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. I know John Walton will be joining us shortly. I'm going to go ahead and reconvene the meeting in open session. During closed session, we received information regarding negotiations and collective bargaining for PGTA and CSEA. We are now going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe Jonathan has a photo of the flag that we can look at. Thank you very much. And if everyone, just please act like you're at the meeting, stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll come back to the screen. And I'll start us off. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so communications, written communication. Board, I have that we received several emails regarding the levy agenda item that we have for tonight. And we received an email regarding staffing. Was there anything else that anybody received or that I missed?
Those are what I remember. That's what I remember as well, Debbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Paff?
I have nothing else.
Okay. Brian?
Nothing else from Brian.
And John Walton, are you there yet?
I'm here, nothing for me.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President,
Yes,
if I may, we did receive several communications throughout the week regarding the distance learning, and those are just from parents asking various questions or making comments, and we tried to respond as we could, but I do want to acknowledge that people are certainly communicating with us, and it's much appreciated.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so board member comments. I'm going to start off with Christy.
Yes, I did want to acknowledge, I know at the end of last meeting, it was difficult with the Zoom and teachers trying to interact and you guys all being half a dozen feet apart and the efforts everybody's making. And I just think it is so critical that the teachers and the staff members all know how extraordinary their efforts have been and how I know the board as a whole just really are thankful for the efforts. And the stress of being a teacher is through the roof on a good day, and to have the virus and to be doing things that are not the way teachers have been trained or are used to doing. I just think it's phenomenal. And I don't think we can say enough about the incredible work that the staff is doing. I've seen so many communications from Ralph and others, but I just want to say that tonight as we start, how deeply, deeply grateful I am to be connected with such an excellent district.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. I agree 100%. Okay, next, Brian.
Yeah, I'll echo.
I'm sorry, John Paff. We're going in
so-
order, so we're hopefully
okay.
not causing confusion. So John Paff.
This forum is pretty difficult. I think I'll pass on comments. Thank you.
Okay, Brian.
Just briefly echo what Christy and you had said, Debbie. Want to commend everybody and really everybody. There's never been a greater, a more challenging time, I think, than I'm experiencing right now, and everybody's ability to stay in sync with each other has been remarkable. And I know it's hard, and I want everybody to know that's tuned in tonight as well, that everybody on the board here is really deeply concerned about everybody that's out there too, and it's ever present in our minds, and there are problems that we're facing, and we're going to do our best just to make sure that they're handled to the best of our abilities. That's all.
Yes. Thank you, Brian. John Walton.
Yeah, thanks. To echo what Christy said, there's just so many people doing so many great things right now. Everybody's, working really hard to adapt to this really unusual situation. The teachers have really, just done an amazing job so rapidly, trying to find ways to make the distance learning work for all the kids. I know it's not usual. I've seen other school districts really struggle with it. So I think it's just a real amazing thing what they've done. I also have to say, the new parent teachers that are kind of adapting and being patient while we all figure out how this works, and trying to be engaged with their kids and figure out and it goes beyond that. There's all these sort of unsung people, the food service, what they're doing with feeding the community and the kids is great. The tech team, getting all the tech out there and trying to be supportive and help people figure out this new technology. As you can see, we still struggle with it even as board members on a day-to-day basis. The administration has been great communicating in disasters or in stressful situations. I think communication is key, and I think Ralph and his team and the principals have done a great job reaching out to the parents in the community to let them know what's going on and keeping them in the loop. And I really appreciate that. And then one final thing, I just want to say, I think Buck Rogerman is my new YouTube favorite star. I watch his mindful moments to calm myself on a regular basis. So, I didn't know he had it in him, but I think he's got a future in being a YouTube influencer in the future. So I'm going to be subscribing to his channel and following him in the future a lot more.
Okay, thank you, John. Superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam President. I know we have this on the agenda a bit later as well, but I cannot stress enough how incredibly proud I am of all of our teachers, our classified staff, our administrators. Everyone's just rising to the occasion. I think it's, I was just writing down words earlier today on my desk thinking about this, and words like poised and compassionate, creative, kind, empathetic, just come to mind. And everyone is trying very hard to focus on the service that we need to provide our students, but also to just take care of all of our families and each other. And this is so difficult for our teachers. And I totally understand that. It's just a whole new paradigm. And I think everybody wants to do our very best to surround all of our instructional folks with the support they need to make this happen. Our special ed team is just doing remarkable work in completely uncharted territories and without pretty much any direction from the federal government at this point. So I think just remarkable what's happening, and thank you, the board, for allowing us the latitude to get done what we need to get done. So just amazing to everyone. Very, very proud to be part of this team. And that's it.
Where's Debbie?
I don't know. I think we may have lost her.
We lost her. I can't see her little.
I'm back.
Woo-hoo!
I couldn't unmute myself. Okay, thank you, Ralph. So, we didn't think about this, how we're going to handle the PGUSD staff comments as far as order. Should we just?
I think, Madam President, we discussed, if you want to continue doing this, when folks wanted to make a public comment, it would be helpful on the chat if they just would put perhaps the letters PC, so for the record, we know it's a public comment. And then we took comments last time via the chat, which seemed to work very well. So perhaps if it's okay with you, those staff members who would like to make public comment, just put a PC and then their comment, and we can have whomever you designate read those off.
Okay, that works. Brian, are you willing to, I didn't ask you ahead of time, so I apologize. I mean, I can certainly try as well. But Brian, would you be able to help us go through the chat there?
He gave a thumbs up, Debbie. He did a great job last week at last meeting. Do it.
There we go. I'm unmuted now, so I think I accidentally muted myself when my daughter snuck in the room, and the door is really squeaky.
Well, I'm not seeing any PGUSD staff comment notes yet. So we'll give a couple more seconds here and we'll move on.
Nope, I'm not seeing any.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I know you guys are there, but thank you for, not for lack of listening. Okay, we're going to move on. Individuals desiring to address the board, as Dr. Porras was explaining, public comment is open to any interest of the public will be heard. I'm going to read a script here. Comments may be limited. We're kind of giving that, see how that works online here, but public comment will also be allowed for each agenda item prior to board action. This is a meeting, a business meeting and the board conducted in public. Please note the Brown Act limits the board's ability to respond to public comment. The board may choose to direct items to administration for future agenda. For those wanting to do public comment, if you type in the chat PC and then your comment or question, and again, we're limited on what we can respond to during this section, but if it's regarding an agenda item, we can definitely have a discussion regarding that. So I will go ahead and open up public comment time.
Debbie,
Yes.
just want to reiterate, right? Public comment on items not on the agenda, correct?
Yes.
That's what we're asking
Public
for.
items not on the agenda.
Thank you.
Brian, there was one from
Micah Maditz.
Yep.
Saying thank you to PGMS staff from parent of 2 6th graders. That's the one public comment I see on non-agenda items.
Yes. Thank you for that.
I think you're good to move on, Debbie.
Okay, I'll move on. Consent agenda. The consent agenda are items considered to be routine and or may have been discussed at a previous board meeting. There are no discussions on these items unless a member of the board has specific questions and or requests an item to be removed. Approved items are considered in full and adopted as recommended. Is there any questions or items for the consent agenda from the board? I'll go to Christy first.
No.
Any questions on consent?
No, not at this time.
Okay, John Paff,
No.
Brian,
Swanson has none.
and John Walton.
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So
Make the
moved.
motion. Second.
I have a motion to approve consent agenda by Christy Dawson, second by John
Seconded by-
Paff.
Thank you.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
Trustee Dawson,
Aye.
Trustee Paff,
Aye.
Trustee Swanson,
Aye.
Trustee Walton.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes 5-0. Okay, our next item is a public hearing This is a public hearing of Pacific Grove Teachers Association Sunshine List. I'm going to open the public comment. Excuse me, lost my track here. Public hearing at 6:48 p.m. And this public hearing for Pacific Grove Teachers Association Sunshine List 2019-20. Dr. Porras?
Actually, I think Principal Bell is the lead negotiator who has this item, and I think, Jonathan, you're going to need to unmute him, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, come
There you go.
on. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Just you know that the negotiations are going on with the PGTA. They've added a couple of items that they want to talk about, and these are those items. They do have the ability to bring on items as negotiations are going on. It is with respect to the 2019-2020 school year, as it is appropriate. If the board approves this, then it will allow us to negotiate these particular items the next time that we are planned to negotiate, which is April 22nd.
Am I correct here? We're not saying, let me rephrase that. At this point, we're saying these are open for discussion, and that's it, correct?
Well, by bringing this allows the public to know what items the unit has brought forward to be discussed during the negotiation sessions, which is required by law. So this just simply lets the public know, and then the board does have a right to disprove this item if there's a reason that it needs to. Otherwise, although that is very untypical, and then it moves. Those topics then become open for discussion in negotiation sessions.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you. I was having a problem unmuting myself again, so I will try to refrain from unmuting or muting. Okay, so are there, thank you, John Paff. Are there any other questions, comments from the board? Christy?
No.
Okay. John Paff already went. Brian?
None from me.
Okay. John Walton?
Done.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:51 p.m. Now we're on to action item A, which is to approve the Pacific Grove Teachers Association Sunshine List 2019 and 20. Since there were no questions or discussion, do I have a motion to approve this?
Do you need public comment, Debbie?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, John. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open up to public comment. We'll allow about 30 seconds to see if there's any public comment on this Pacific Grove Teachers Association Sunshine List item.
Jonathan, could you set up the theme music from Jeopardy, please?
Don't attempt him.
Great
He will.
idea.
He's very creative.
Okay.
Not
I don't know if that was 30 seconds, but I'm going to go ahead and then bring it back to the board. And just to make sure we're official, I'm just going to go down the list again. Christy, any other questions?
No, not at this time.
John Paff?
No.
Brian?
None.
John Walton? Did we lose John?
He might be muted.
There you are. Okay. Now do I have a motion to approve this item, please?
Make a motion to approve the sunshine list as presented from PGTA.
Seconded.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve by John Paff, second by Christy Dawson. Roll call, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
Trustee Dawson,
Aye.
Trustee Paff,
Aye.
Trustee Swanson,
Aye.
Trustee Walton.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. That passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Okay, next item is action item B, adoption of the National Geographic World Cultures and Geography 2017 textbook for 9th grade social studies at Pacific Grove High School. This is Director Ani Silva. Now, we did hear about this last meeting. Ani, is there anything that you would like to, additional that you would like to present, or board if there's any questions? I'm going to pause for a minute if we can unmute Ani.
Nope, she's still muted.
Jonathan, are you able? Maybe you're doing that now.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I am muted myself.
There you
Thank
are. We see you and hear you.
Yes,
So,
no, there's nothing that I would like to add other than that we would like to move forward.
Move forward. Okay. Thank you. I'm just going to go down the list here. Christy, any questions?
Yeah, I had a question, Ani, and I was muted last time and couldn't ask it. Is this for World Studies and AP and regular, this book?
No, this is for freshman world geography class. It's a geography class for freshmen, and all freshmen take it, and so that's what it's for. The curriculum they have been using has been very outdated, and so it was like time. We have a 4-year social studies requirement for high school graduation. And so with the freshman class, you know, we've needed to update the book that they are using. So yes, it's
Okay.
only for freshmen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Christy. John Paff?
Nothing.
Brian?
Just a quick comment. I was going through this last night, and I wanted to thank Ani for being anticipatory in the breakdown of everything that was in there. It answered every question that I was scratching into the margins. Then I dug a little bit deeper, and everything that I was wondering about was answered. So thank you just for being so thorough in your presentation of that.
Well, I would really like to pass on those kudos to Kim Schertz, who is the teacher who teaches the Freshman Academy, the geography component, as well as Chris Morgan. And so I just want to say it's their work. It was their work that that led us to this space where we are now. And so, and I commend them for being very diligent about what they were looking for in terms of what they wanted for our freshman students to have access to a geography, but on multiple layers. It's not just geography. So
Great. Well,
yeah, so I want to pass that on to them because it was their work.
Awesome. If I were wearing a hat, I would take it off and tip it to them. It was a nice job for everybody. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brian.
John Walton, any questions?
No question, just a comment. I think it's great. I guess if we're all kind of just being reminded through this whole distance learning how important online curriculum is. So it's great to see that we're thinking about that. And taking that into consideration. I know, I grew up with the carrying the heavy books around, and it's a fond memory. But at the same time, the more of it we can blend with online learning, I think that's great. So I'm very supportive of it.
Thank you, John.
Okay, and I will now open up to public comment. If there's any public comment on this item or questions. I'm just gonna give it like a few seconds, Ani.
Hi, I'm good. This is very interesting.
Isn't it?
It is. It's very
Okay.
interesting.
Well, we have 55 people tuned in right now, just through Zoom meeting, which is really incredible. So I'm not seeing anybody in the comment window saying anything or looking to make public comments. So I think we're probably safe to move on.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the adoption. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Adoption of the National Geographic 9th grade social studies textbook.
Swanson is happy to second.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Debbie Crandall, seconded by Brian Swanson. Roll call, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
trustee Dawson,
Aye.
trustee Paff,
Aye.
trustee Swanson,
Aye.
trustee Walton.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes 5-0.
Debbie,
Yes,
ever so briefly, and I apologize, I should be saying Ms. President, but
that's okay.
it's pretty hard actually online not to use first names.
Yeah.
Do we actually have a student rep online? Or did you get notification that he's not?
I did not get a notification either way.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you for asking that. Okay, we are going to keep moving here. Trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. Adoption of resolution number 1037 on levy of developer fees. So this is an item that we brought to discuss quite some time ago. I think it was maybe December, January. And we talked about it a couple times, and then we decided to go ahead and table it until after the election. So now it's after the election, and we're so grateful to the community voters for passing our bond. So we're bringing it back to finalize this agenda item. John Paff, you had asked for this to be brought back, so can
I did. I'd like to reiterate what you just said there. We actually tabled this in October, and we said at the time very specifically to bring back in the first or second meeting after the election. That is where we are now. The reason to bring it back really has nothing to do with passing it. It has everything to do with having tabled it. It does need to come back, in my opinion. My intent today is frankly to bring it to closure. 2 weeks ago, I said this would be about a 2-minute discussion. The sole purpose here really is to close the action. Ralph, I'll ask you, I would actually go ahead and pass a negative resolution. Make a motion to not pass resolution 1037. I think that's a bit unusual, and I have to make sure everybody's clear on that. A yes vote would be to not pass it. But I'd make that motion straight off. The goal is simply to bring it out away from future agenda and on the table and done.
Okay, thank you. So just to be clear on what your statement. So your motion is to not approve this resolution. Therefore, the vote yes is to not approve it. A vote no is to approve it.
It's not that hard. Yeah, that's right.
If I may,
Well, it's
Yes,
I'm
you may, Ralph.
confirming for everybody listening.
just as a point of order, and I apologize. I want to, unfortunately, because the way it's written on the agenda, we need to take action on the way the recommendation. I will tell you that the district administration agrees with Trustee Paff. We would prefer this not go forward either. However, there needs to be a motion and a second, and then it would need to fail, or it just needs to fail by not having a motion. Either way would work.
Let me ask this. Go ahead, Christy.
I was going to say, let us have the honor of saying no.
It's fine.
Yeah, we will take a vote. I'm just trying to get as Ralph was saying, Dr. Porras was saying, the logistics of this, how we're doing this.
It either fails to move forward for lack of a motion, or someone moves in seconds and then take a vote.
Okay, so with that said, do I have a motion to approve adoption of resolution number 1037 on levy of developer fees?
So moved.
So you're voting, your motion is to approve it. If you don't want to approve it,
Okay, now I think I've screwed it up.
that's okay.
My vote was to move on it and vote.
Okay, so you're not wanting to approve this, is that correct, Christy?
That's correct.
Okay, so we'll just, you're not making a motion then, so we'll just hold on to that. I'm not hearing any other motion to approve this. So we'll go ahead and
It would die for lack of second.
It's not going to be even a discussion any further. Is that correct, Dr. Porras?
That's correct. At this point,
Okay.
if someone moves and there is no second, it dies. If someone moves and there is a second and all vote no, then it dies. Or if no one moves, those are the three options.
Okay.
I want to go on the record that I'm against it. I was just doing a different option here. I don't want to be the one that it looks like I want it and no one else does. I don't want it either.
All good. We got it.
Okay. And not hearing from any other board member, that we will go ahead and move on to the next agenda.
Madam President, if I may.
Yes.
I want to acknowledge, number one, that appreciate the board moving forward with this. From an administrative position, we deeply appreciate the public's confidence in us by voting the passage of the recent bond, the maintenance bond, the new Measure D. Truly extraordinary trust in the community to have us move forward. We do have in the audience Dr. Scott Dick, who is the Monterey County Association of Realtor, one of the representatives there. And he and I spoke earlier today, and I know that he was online just to hear this conversation. I'm sure he's hopefully be appreciative and hopefully can pass the sentiments on to the board if anyone asks.
Thank you, Ralph.
I'd really like to, and I know I'm speaking out of order, but I really want to second what Ralph said there. The community is very generous in the bond, and bringing this back just to kill it is essentially where we are. And I really do thank the community for the trust they've placed in us.
Yes. Thank you. I agree. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Thank you for all that joined the meeting and provided feedback via email regarding that item as well. Next item is action item D, adoption of resolution number 1046, calling for school board election. Dr. Porras, I'll let you give us a quick summary of this.
Sure. This is an item that actually you've all seen before when we've had other board elections, and we're required by the county board of elections to put this item forward so that we can move forward with a election for open seats on the school board in November. So this is not an unusual item, and that's what this resolution is about.
Okay, thank you. So this is just a formality then?
Correct.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the board? Christy?
No comments, except it makes me sad to think people might not be back, but no.
John Paff?
Ralph, and again, excuse the informality, but it's easier. We make this resolution. We are agreeing in this resolution that PGUSD is paying for statements, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has how it's been crafted in the past.
I'm just trying to see if I see this in there.
Yes, it is. It's
yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's the third to last paragraph.
Yeah, this came from actually a former trustee wanted to make sure that there were no economic impacts that kept a person from being able to run and put a comment. And so by the district paying for it, it kind of leveled the playing field for people.
Okay.
And I think it was actually Trustee Shamas from years ago.
My next question is, did we have a discussion on going to trustee areas instead of at large?
Yes, we tabled that discussion prior to COVID, actually, so that we could bring it back sometime in April to see kind of where we were and what was happening with some of the other agencies throughout the state. I think it's still there. It's a little bit tucked under because of current situation. However, the board asked to bring this back sometime in April to discuss the trustee areas situation. So we still have it planned to come back in a month.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brian?
I've got nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. John Walton?
Nothing.
Okay. I actually do have a question back to what John Paff was asking. So if the board does not have to pay this $50,000, correct, Dr. Porras?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So the $50,000 is in this resolution,
right,
as recommended by a previous board member, and the district has paid the $50,000, which is a required fee for the ballot. That's per candidate, right?
The 50,000 is actually the cost to run the election itself. So those are the election fees to run the actual election. What Trustee Paff was referring to is there's a cost to submit a candidate statement. I can't remember the exact cost, but it's
Oh, I
not
see.
huge, but that's the cost for individual candidates to write a statement and issue it. So we felt that if anyone wanted to do that, the district covered that particular cost.
Okay, but the 50,000 is required to hold it either way.
Correct.
Okay,
If-
thank you.
And may I clarify further, Debbie?
Yes, please.
If we are 2 for 2 or worst case 1 for 2, then we do not pay that fee as well.
Correct.
Only if the election is actually held for PGUSD.
Correct.
If the candidates are actually put on the ballot.
Right. If there's more than 2 people for 2 seats, we would have to hold the election.
Got it. Okay, thank you. No other comments from the board at this time. I'm going to go ahead and open this up to public comment, and I'll wait about 15 seconds. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments regarding this. Bring it back to the board just for formality, make sure we're not missing anything. Christy, any further?
No.
John Path?
No, thank you.
Brian?
Nothing from me. Thanks.
John Walton?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a
Oh, well,
motion?
Debbie,
Yes,
I'm sorry. I do have one
Oh.
question.
okay.
Too late.
Yeah, possibly. Ralph and or Song, our parcel there with 24 new units,
Yes.
right now that is not a voting parcel either.
Yes, we're aware of that.
Okay.
I've made our legal counsel aware of it as well. We're trying to rectify that situation at the speed with which the county will allow us.
Thank you so very much for the response.
Got it.
Okay,
I move that we adopt resolution number 1046, calling for a school board election.
Second,
okay, thank you. I have a motion to approve this by Chrissy Dawson, second by John Path. Roll call, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
trustee Dawson,
Aye.
trustee Paff,
aye.
trustee Swanson,
Aye.
trustee Walton.
Aye.
Okay, that passes 5-0. Next item is adoption of resolution number 1047, E-rate authorizing the contract for services with AMS.net. Mr. Mejia.
Here. So it kind of came about once we received board approval, we got the master contracts from Spur, and we presented those to legal, and legal opted to, or recommended that we pass this resolution as layer for in the interest of the.
We lost you.
Hi, hello?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay. So this kind of came about from once we got our master contracts in, we presented those to our legal department, and they went over the contracts, and they, although the contracts were, everything was for the most part in line, they just wanted to have the board pass this resolution that would be recommended to be in the interest of the district.
Okay, questions from the board. Christy?
No.
John Path?
No, thank you.
Brian Swanson?
Nothing here.
John Walton?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to open this up to public comment. Again, we'll wait a few seconds here. While we're waiting, I do want to ask, is it required that we read this resolution?
It is not required. I think it's just in the title and making sure that we're clear which resolution number it is.
Okay. Okay, I am not seeing any comments on this item. So do I have a motion to approve this?
I make a motion to approve resolution 1047.
Brian, you second?
Swanson,
Okay, I have a motion to approve by John Path, second by Brian Swanson, correct?
That's correct. And before we go to vote, I wanted to point out that Adrian Clark has joined us now as our student representative.
Oh,
great.
thank you.
Welcome, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian,
Hi.
are you on? There you are. We see.
Hey,
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Sorry, I was ill-informed about the meeting. I'm here now.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time and joining us.
No problem.
So we are talking about adoption of a resolution for services for our network upgrade.
Okay.
I know you didn't hear the presentation, so we're getting ready to vote on it. Did you have any questions about it, or do you?
I did not. I've been here for a little bit. I got
Okay.
the tail end of that. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve by John Path, second by Brian Swanson, and this will be a roll call, starting with the student representative.
Aye.
Student advisory,
Aye.
trustee Campbell,
Aye.
trustee Dawson,
aye.
trustee Paff,
Aye.
trustee Swanson,
Aye.
trustee Walton.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. That passes 5-0. Our next item is for anybody following along online with the revised agenda that was published. We are on action item F, but it is actually the board calendar because the previous action item F has been tabled, which is the letter of understanding. Did I state that correctly, Dr. Porras?
Yes, Madam President. We found some items on there that we need to continue discussing with the PGTA. So we
Okay.
tabled it until the next board meeting.
Okay, thank you. So we are on action item F, board calendar future meetings. Is there any change to this calendar?
I think because we included the tentative dates into December as a draft board meeting, we would need to take action on approving this.
So what you're saying is for the next school year, you've added those dates.
Yes, that's correct, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any comments from the
Yeah.
board? Christy?
Please, I don't know if I missed something, but I know we have a Saturday special board meeting, September 19th, and I'm out of the country, not knowing that that was going to be happening, and I'm just wondering if that might be moved a week later to September 26th on that Saturday, if that's a problem for anyone.
We can, if I may, we can change that at any time between now and then. It's simply a placeholder at this point, since that's what the board had done before. So we can change the date now, or we can look to change it a little bit later. But it was right now. It was simply a placeholder, since that's about the time we did it this last time. So
got it. Well, I'm still going to be out of town if it's
Okay.
an hour and a month, but anyway.
okay, we can you can certainly make a
Dr.
recommendation.
Porras, will you?
Go ahead.
I think we lost Debbie again. I'm
Dr.
just
Porras,
wondering,
your microphone or the video is slowing.
Me?
not on mine. Your speed
Yeah,
is.
that's on her end. Ralph, can you
I think
Can you go ahead
it
and,
was me.
push that forward to say the 10th? Or is that too soon for you?
Hang on one second. I'm looking at the calendar.
I'm sorry,
right
the 12th.
now.
September 12th, you mean? So you'd rather have it sooner than later, John, is what you're saying?
Later.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, September 12 or 19, either one of those 2 days. So
Well,
yeah.
we can look more closely, but if it's okay, let's move it to the 12th now as a placeholder there. Oh no, I'm out of town then too. No, it's got to be 26th. I'm running around for just a short time.
You jet setter.
Yeah.
Well, can we just give some more time for Dr. Porras and the administration to kind of look at this and then come back the next meeting?
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
work? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam
John?
President.
Yes.
We can go ahead and put the 26th now, and again, we can change it later if we need to. That's not a problem for
Okay.
us.
All right.
Thank
John Pav?
Yes.
Okay. Brian Swanson?
All good.
Did we move?
No, I'm going through questions, comments.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Brian?
I'm good. All good.
Okay. John Walton?
No questions.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. If there's any public comment on the presented calendar, I'm only going to wait a few seconds on this one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the board calendar future meetings.
Second.
Okay. Motion was made by David Crandall, seconded by Christy Dawson. Roll call, starting with student advisor.
Aye.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
Trustee Dawson,
Aye.
Trustee Paff,
Aye.
Trustee Swanson,
Aye.
Walton.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes 5-0. We are now on to information discussion A. This is a district update on response to COVID-19. Dr. Porras.
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, we've been sending updates regularly. We're continuing to do our best to send updates at 11 a.m. and at 3 p.m. every day. Some of the updates have been knowing more information. Some of them are reports that get changed 5 minutes later. So my apologies on that one. But we're trying to be as comprehensive as we can. The sites are still releasing a separate site-specific update at 4 p.m. every day. So definitely trying to communicate everything that we can. I will say that the most recent, I guess, update came from the CDE, the California Department of Ed, is the whole issue of grading and assessment. I did post that already, and it gives a lot of suggestions and recommendations, a lot of urging, but not a whole lot of concrete direction. And so we've been trying to work on translating what it all means. We met today for a couple hours with the 24 superintendents plus the charter schools and the county superintendent, working our way through what it means for the school districts in regards to sort of an expectation of what do we want to look for in regards to grading or assessing methodologies for this last quarter of school, essentially after March 13th. And we're still working on that. We talked about it in administration a little bit, and it's going to take a little time for us to put that. I will say that to try to put everyone at ease, our main priority right now is to stick with the directive from this Superintendent of Public Instruction's commentary that we are not looking to grade to be punitive. We are looking to provide instruction opportunities for students, to try to keep learning opportunities happening, to try to get feedback on the instruction that we are giving by moderating how the students are doing, and to give the students an opportunity to try to adjust to what's happening. The CSUs and the UCs are all pretty much amenable to taking the grade as it stood just prior to the closing of schools, which is a huge boost for students. Waiving the SAT and ACT was another big boost. So I think everyone around the state is trying to figure that part out. We're still figuring it out. We will be talking with our teachers. I think the principal have already started doing that, trying to get a gauge for what they feel is most appropriate. And our hope is to go into this last quarter of the school year with as minimal impact as we can on the students' academic life, and really stressing just providing those opportunities for students. We'll have more for our staff when we come back from the break. As you recall, the break is going to be a true break. We're not looking to send updates out unless it's an emergency, and let everyone have a moment of pause, and recollect ourselves when we return. And as far as the meal distribution goes, we did get a couple of questions regarding how the funding happens for those meals that we're providing, and we did put that in the most recent update. Obviously, again, an incredible amount of work being done by the lunch ladies, as they call themselves. They have just done a superb job of getting those meals ready for our families. I know that and as Director Lip has just been phenomenal. Juanita on the spot, so to speak. She's everywhere and gets stuff done. And the families are so appreciative. I'm at the Moreland and Arkwright spot with Mr. Rogaman and Mr. Mejia, and just the families are so appreciative. About 400 lunches a day. We've already informed them of the change of schedule, that we'll be distributing food on Monday, for the break, on Monday for Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be there on Wednesday only for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday delivery. And then when we come back from the break, it'll be 3 days a week. And that'll help us a little bit with contact and exposure, but still giving the service that we normally give. So there's a lot out there. And I just encourage everyone, if you're hearing rumors, you're not really sure, talk with your principal or get a hold of me so that we can try to clarify or ask the right people the right questions, and so we can make sure everything's out there. And we're trying to push everything to Twitter and to Facebook as well. So in any event, we're doing the best we can, and we'll get you more clear information as soon as we can in regards to what the guidance is from the CSUs and UCs. I see that question sitting there. So that's kind of what I have for the moment. And I'm happy to answer any questions as we go.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I'm glad that you shared what you guys have been discussing, and as far as, what are we going to do? What does this mean? The seniors credits and so forth. How does that work? So I know we'll hear more information soon. I'm going to go to the board now for any questions, comments, and then I will open up for public comment. We'll go ahead and start with Christy.
I just
Questions or comments?
the excellent work by staff of getting that out there. Again, the stress level for families trying to take care of kids, trying to teach children, trying to feed them, and the concerns obviously nationwide about where is the money and how can we support our kids. And it's so nice that the school can be there, and great work on doing that. And through the break as well, just to make another contribution towards families' livelihood and doing okay and surviving this very traumatic time.
Thank you, Christy. John Paff?
I just follow up, Ralph, and frankly, everybody in the district who's working, and particularly, as you say, the lunch ladies. Thank you all for the extraordinary effort that has gone forth in the last 2.5 weeks. First to make it all happen, and for the teachers for making actual lesson plans and putting it out there and putting themselves online. I'm very, very proud to be associated with this district right now. I think we are well ahead of the curve. I have teachers in my family across the nation, and really just stellar job. Thank you all so very much.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Brian Swanson?
I just want to add, I really appreciate the continual updates, and the video updates are really nice too. That that we see from, I've seen from Dr. Porras and from Buck, and it serves as a nice reminder that everything is rolling along just in a different way, and the fact that we're feeding so many kids every day too is just makes me really proud of the district.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
And I know that we're not bringing back the brick and mortar part of it this year. I look forward to the moment when we do. For some of you who know, we live right across from the middle school playfield, and I really miss that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. John Walton, do you have any
Yeah,
comments?
thanks, Debbie. I think, I just want to add that I didn't mention earlier when we were talking about this, but, I think it's been, for our family, and I'm sure everybody else, a really emotional time, sort of the ups and downs, and not knowing what's going on in the nation and how that applies to us. And then are we going back to school, and now knowing we're not going back to school, I think that's really hard emotionally for parents and teachers. I know missing their kids and kids missing their friends in school. Never thought my 10-year-old would miss school, but go figure. I actually missed it. And I appreciate, we're all struggling through, looking forward to the next few months, how I know we focus a lot on the grades, and that's important, but also just the emotional well-being of our community and the families and the staff. I'm glad they're all getting a break. I think everybody needs a little time to recharge a little bit. But I just want to thank the counselors too. I think, their job is probably twice as hard now than to do things over video and keep everybody's spirits up and the students' spirits up when they're feeling isolated. So, just good work to everybody and hang in there. I'm hopeful in the future. And thanks also to the teachers and parents. I know some of them are start brainstorming about, how to do some type of makeup closure type ceremonies for the kids when we can all get back together again, which I think is really important.
Yeah. Thank you. I do want to go to Student Representative Adrian. If you're still with us, do you have anything that you'd like to add, make a comment about this item?
Yeah. From what I just heard, I've actually never heard so many high school students that I've talked to say that they wanted to be at school more than anything. I from multiple accounts and multiple people, they just said they would drop everything to go back to school right now. And honestly, that made me kind of appreciate what we had, and it made me appreciate the administration, the staff, and everyone that we have, because right now they're doing a fantastic job and we miss them so much. And even though they are doing a great job with the online learning and everything I've heard about the lunches is just fantastic. So from a student perspective, the administration is top notch.
Thank you. Thank you. And we miss having you here as well, Adrian, to say the least.
I know. It's so nice.
Absolutely.
It's so nice to see a kid and hear a kid's voice. I just appreciate
Yeah.
it. We miss you guys terribly.
If I may, Madam President,
Yes, please.
I wanted to just answer a couple quick questions that came up, if I may.
Yes.
There was a question regarding if the CSUs and the UCs guidance applies to more than just juniors and seniors. And the answer to that is yes. They're reaching all the way down to the 8th grade with the understanding that this Q4, March 13th through the end of the year, is going to impact everyone. And so they're making allowances for those students as well. And it'll just trickle its way through the transcripts as that time comes. And they're going to probably provide a little bit more detail on that, but they did give us that. And so that was an important piece that I wanted to make sure got answered, because I know it's of concern for people.
Thank you. Were there any other questions on there that we need to respond?
I'm just going through there. I think there was a question in regards to earlier, I thought I saw it. If the district was to go to a pass-fail on the last quarter, how that would look. And we're still working on some of that with the CSUs and UCs, although they indicated that a pass-fail would not penalize their GPA status as of March 13th, which is an important piece. So I think it's there's opportunities to improve, but I think they want to freeze it up in that spot. Again, we're all trying to make sure that that's what we're hearing correctly, and we'll have more information on that.
Thank you. So I know we've had a few public comments already. I'm going to go ahead and we'll pause for about 15 seconds or so and see if there's any additional questions regarding or comments regarding this item. And then we will move on from there.
You see that, Brian?
Yeah, I saw it. Here we have Debbie. Will there be discussion about how the schools intend on transitioning students from grade level since schools will not be resuming.
Dr. Porras, do you want, I think you were touching on that a little bit regarding the direction the state is providing regarding,
Yeah.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think I understand the question. At this point, I think the intent of the state is to try to basically have students locked where they were on March 13th, with the understanding that they would be transitioning to the next grade level up. We would certainly, our hope is to provide sufficient instruction to at the very least sort of stay where we are in terms of academic progress, try to identify some key standards that we feel are important, that we want to make sure our students know. I don't think we're intending to try to create large amounts of new instruction. And then as we come into the fall for the new grade levels, we certainly would have to figure out some work in regards to identifying where students are and then kind of picking up from that point. We're hoping for some more information how that might look. But the 24 school districts in the county, we are having that discussion in earnest, and we're sharing our best practices in terms of how that might shake out for our students. Certainly the piece that we're trying to do is allay fears that not being able to participate at this time because of unknown impacts from the virus, we don't want to penalize students for that. And so really it's everyone's going to do the best they can and pick it up from March 13th.
Thank you. And then this says Grace's iPad. Grace's iPad, does that answer your question? If not, go ahead and put us another comment in there, but I think that sounds like we have a plan and we'll just adjust as we go. Looks like there's another question. I'll go ahead and read it, Brian. For freshmen, we are fluidly designing around, oh, that's Kim making a statement. Thank you, Kim. Okay, I'm gonna just wait another few seconds here.
I do see a comment from Ms. Serpa in regards to counselors help every day, and the aides are a ton. I think that's a really great point made there that our counselors have made themselves very available to parents, and for anyone who's listening, if there's a need to talk with one of our counselors, just in regards to how should students cope with what's happening and what they might need. They are there and ready to help in any way they can, and I know they've already been helping. And so I think that's it's really poignant that comment was made right now, because I know that's an important issue.
Thank you. So Grace's iPads, yes, partially, but also worried about the closure the teachers and students will need, as this can be distressing transition. Also,
Oh,
my name
I
is
see.
Grace Brown. Okay,
Okay,
Forest Grove, and Mr. Rogerman is wonderful, and we agree. So I would just advise Grace that you would go ahead and communicate with Mr. Rogerman as well. Would you agree to that, Dr. Forrest, that there's any specific questions?
I can add one more piece. I think I would meant to mention this earlier. We are absolutely 100%, as Principal Bell mentioned in his video, we are very, very concerned for all of our students in terms of celebrating the end of the year, trying to just see their friends one more time, trying to kind of capture those special moments. And in particular, our seniors who are just missing out on a bunch, and in particular, the graduation. We are really aware of that. And we want to plan something special for everyone. And maybe it might not be until late July or August, just depends on when we're allowed to regather. But all of the administrative team is very excited about planning something that we can do. And whether it's a little parade through downtown, we can wave at everybody if we're allowed to be together, a special graduation ceremony, something for our elementary schools. We are very well aware of it. And I think if there are any ideas, we did send that survey link out. So if people have some thoughts, maybe they can put it on that as well, or talk to our site principals. That'd be great too.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just for formality, bring it back to the board. And Christy, is there anything additional you'd like to add?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, John Paff.
Well, with the excess of time, I find myself on Facebook a little bit more often than I'd
Anything,
like.
Brian?
And wait. I'm not quite done there. Debbie, you there? I really just wanted to wish Shannon McCarty
There
a happy
you are.
anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary. Nice.
Okay, thank you. You're in the dark room now.
Am I?
Yes.
Brian?
Nothing further from me.
Wow.
Okay. John Walton?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Thank you very much for that update and everybody's hard work. And this is a really difficult time for everybody. And I think we're very, I'm very grateful to have all of you and just be in this community. So thank you. The next item is future agenda items. Dr. Porras, we talked about this in length last time. Is there anything specific that we need to do or any items that you want to discuss? And then I'll open it up to the board.
No, Madam President, I think it's as it stands as it was before, and we don't need anything on there just now.
Great. Just for the public that's listening in, last time we changed some dates to be able to have time for the important things that we needed to get through. A lot of these things will be determined later. Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the board. If there's any additional agenda items that you'd like to add or discuss. Christy.
Not at this time. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay. John Paff.
No, thank you though.
Brian.
Nothing from me, but great job running the meeting, Debbie, in a really weird
Oh,
situation.
yes.
And very smoothly. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you. John Walton.
Nothing for me.
Okay, great. Okay, well, with that, the meeting is, well, before I adjourn, I just want to thank 55 participants that are on our meeting. As weird as it is, I'm thankful also for Jonathan Mejia, who's running this for us, and Mandy in the background, and guiding us through all of this. So I appreciate everybody. Stay safe and healthy, and we will see you guys virtually at the next meeting.
Enjoy spring break, right?
Yes, definitely, and enjoy spring break. Thank you. Okay, so meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Thank you.